Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. It's Shirley with Spirit of Matter, and we woke up to a free Assange today. So that was really unexpected and very, very lovely. So apparently, the United States, under Joe Biden, decided to drop um, like the case against Julian Assange, and he's already released from Belmarsh to expected to return to Australia. So astrologically, he began to serve his time in 2017, and we are in 2024. So we are having closure to the misjustices that were done in 2017. Expect more themes of 2017 to re-emerge, re-arise, and to have closure in the form of justice. Very simply put, this is the year where truth comes out and can no longer be restrained. Another thing, on another note, that I want to kind of say that I noticed um, while Assange was trending on X, another trend is that Sedna is going to conjunct Elon Musk's Saturn that has to do with bonds, debt, investments, kind of like long-term karma on 1 degree Gemini. We're already seeing the we're already seeing this happening. Um, and Saturn in Gemini's Mercury is the sign of speech, so it's social media, it's technology, but it's also where technology can go wrong, like an electric shock, the D-Day, or the freedom of speech not reach. And I see that um, with Sedna, I think that the stage where things at is just that we're going to see something major. And I saw his name coming up a lot, but now this is Sedna. So, some good news is that Assange is free, and indeed, free Assange was trending on X, and so much of the activity was actually done on this platform. And another news, which for some may be good news, is that we're about to see some revelations to do with anything Musk. So this can be from Tesla to social media, technology, anything electric. Okay. Well, the harm that he did was about the freedom of speech not reach. So that's the social media platform. And that might be something that he endorsed, therefore, regarding his own ability to speak or something like that. And the electrocutions. So the sexual harassment and the electrocutions. This one is for the electrocutions more than the sexual harassment, in my opinion. And you want to listen to the Story and the Imagination podcast to understand what it's about. And since we're talking about electricity, I also mentioned Algol and Uranus, okay, to do with electricity. Then the karma may have to do with any electric production. So you think about the Tesla car brand, think about the Tesla investment company is very likely to be stricken very severely. And anything technological. If you're riding a Tesla, a good alternative that you can have for a Tesla is Lightyear One, which is fully solar car. And this is an Eindhoven company in Netherlands. I don't know too much about the company. I don't know if they're like did worse thing to children or something like that. I don't know anything. Okay, I just know that this is another form that's fully solar and is better than to be standing with like the electrocution, because I suspect that the cars themselves might have a glitch of electricity. It's both the Urano Algol and Sedna on Gemini, conjuncting Saturn. So this is the karma of Musk, but you don't have to participate in it. So I would highly recommend it if you have a Tesla and another car to just do the other car And in general, when it comes to electric cars, this is my recommendation. They're not produced in good terms, okay? And if electric shock is used to discipline the employees, you understand what you can run into in terms of karma with your car, and you might not even know where it's coming from. So we don't all have a choice. Some of us, travel public transportation. But electricity is something to be extremely cautious, especially if you're using the type of electricity products that are not produced in good terms, which is pretty much all our electricity devices. So this is general for the uranoalgal. Um, and with the Sedna on Elon Musk's Saturn is particular for anything electric that comes out of the hands or the production that Elon Musk is associated with right now. And again, Saturn is also ruling labor rights. It rules homeless people. It rules people that have been deprived in some way. It rules child labor. So it's all of those things then that are going to be exposed. And Mercury rule in electricity. So I understand that the events around electrocution and torturing by electrocution, those are going to be exposed, and perhaps certain repercussions can take form. And Sedna is the sign of betrayal. Okay, so Sedna, usually Sedna denotes betrayal, but because it is with Saturn, we understand that there is certain karma to do with the times that perhaps Elon played the role of the father of Sedna or the abuser of Sedna in his life. And this is also okay. I've been seeing this coming for days and days and days and days and days. Another one to think about, Cassandra asteroid. Okay, so I have Cassandra asteroid natally conjunct in my Ketu, and I guess I'm more sensitive to its meaningful transits. Cassandra asteroid is going to conjunct Pluto again. The last time it happened, I began my Code Cassandra videos, and yeah, I think Taylor Swift recently released her own album, which includes a song about the story of Cassandra pertaining to her own life. Cassandra basically predicted, I think it was the fall of Troy. I don't know, maybe it was Troy, Rome, Pompeii, I don't know, like all these empires that fall. So the Cassandra was basically gifted with the gift of prophecy, but the curse that she's not believed. And I want you to pay special attention to the Cassandra figures right now in our lives, because many falls are predicted. And we're going to see those prophecies and those predictions. And remember, why did Pompeii fall? Why did Rome fall? Rome, because of the Inquisition. Okay, and first of all, it never fell. This Inquisition still runs. Yes. With Pompeii, slavery. And Urano-Algol is a time of abolishing slavery. Okay? Think about 1939, 1942. Okay, 1938, the Baron Rothschild was arrested. And then the entire war began that took the onslaught of Jews, which is another karma that Germany faces right now. If you've seen the article about the woman that was sent to prison for insulting, I don't even know if this is true, but there's certain karma that Germany is facing right now. I haven't looked at charts, but there's certain something that's going on there. Also, particularly with both Urano-Algol and Sedna Gemini, all the cultures, including Western cultures, that have been torturing children, using rape, misusing the people who went through mental crisis. So instead of housing first an open dialogue like Finland, Basser van der Kolk, okay? Yom Asel, Yom Basel, okay? The person that said to people to go rape, to deal with their traumas, to war traumas, okay? That has the repercussions, and the repercussions is the fall of Troy and the fall of Rome and the fall of Pompeii. And it's those things, it's surrounding those things, okay? Even Israel, I live in Israel. I saw an argument about real estate where the owners raised the real estate during war for people who were basically evacuated from their home for 40%, just in one day. So they decided to do a protest, and they printed T-shirts to show the apartment. When they had to show the apartment to new tenants, they printed T-shirt with how much they used to pay, and that caused a public fight. Okay, the landlord began to take photos, and so the landlord had what to say, and they had what to say. But people were very much like, oh, if they don't want to live in the street, let them pay. I don't predict good survival for Israel in this way, and it's terrifying because I live here now. So this is the fall of Pompeii. This is the fall of Rome. It's slavery. It's where the people, who the public opinion was supporting that, then those people, okay, just like I said before, 7th of October, that I talked about, every square in Pluto, I said this is where the prophet went to God and said to him, please, if I only find one tzaddik, one saint in the entire city of Sodomy, if I only find one saint, the entire city, don't destroy Sodomy. And God said, go ahead, go find. And the prophet did not find one saint in Sodomy, and Sodomy was destroyed. Okay, when we talk about Israel before 7th of October, the women watchers were not believed. Women were sent to be raped by Palestinian inmates. While in Palestine, they would scare them with Jewish, okay? So what happened during COVID, okay? So there were the people that were protesting and are awake and so on and so forth. But there were also the collapse from within. And this is happening not just in Israel, it's happening in the world right now. And so, but there are also great segments that are not like that. Again, we woke up to a free Assange. So there is the juxtaposition, perhaps also with Saturn in Pisces, that's going to go retrograde. This the juxtaposition of good events, just events, and exposure of injustices that carries even immediate repercussions. We are in the years, in terms of Uranus, 1939 to 1942. Okay, so to arrest Baron Rothschild, not bad, but to kill all the Jews that had nothing to do with Baron Rothschild, not really good either. So this is where we're going to have to pay tremendous attention. Do not be fooled. Do not be think that the damages, they come from outside. We haven't seen what happened in your society. And they're going to be tremendous, you know. Lilith is also about to ingress into Libra. And in one word, Lilith is the one that's going to tell you, just like I said to a person said, Gaza is all gone. Gaza was all gone when you married the children young and you gave them rape for their wedding birth date. Gaza was gone when you locked up the people who went through mental crisis, and you locked them up. You locked them up and you tied them and you abused them. Gaza was gone when a person didn't agree to marry, so you murdered them, much like the Sedna story. Gaza was gone when somebody wanted to marry someone from another tribe, and you would slaughter her, or you would subject her to abuse in your own tribe, okay, if she came from another tribe, or you saw her a slave. Gaza was wrong when you put people to slavery, including the kidnapped Israeli people. But before that, your own people. Gaza was gone then. And then came Israel. And then came Rothschild. And then came WHO. And then came WEF. Just like Israel was gone when we kidnapped children. Israel was gone when we raped women. Israel was gone when the woman was to blame for her own rape or for escaping a husband that was murderous. Also, the Arab society, but also not Arab society, Jewish society. Israel was gone when there was even one homeless person in such a small country. Israel was gone when you have to set an appointment with your own bank. Israel was gone when you cannot make a life while making a living and stay alive. Israel was gone when we didn't listen to our veterans. We shoved them into the street. We didn't listen to our women. When there was no will and consent, Israel was gone. Way before 7th of October came. So Cassandra conjuncting Pluto is exactly those prophecies. Hey, of course there's going to be an earthquake. Hey, of course there's going to be a political event. Of course there's going to be a doom and gloom. And when the people are not believed, dismissed, oh, what's the connection between they have to pay the rent, like you have to go to work? If you're a war veteran, if you escaped violence, you need housing first and you need open dialogue. Okay? It's those things. And on those things, on slavery, on this type of abuses, on those things, Romy fell, on those things, Troy fell, on those things, Pompey fell. This is about an end to slavery at all costs. The fall of an empire. And it's not the culture out there, Netherlands. It's the Deming in here, in that country. It's the Hans that lost his nationality, Guillaume Pilot, for exposing that his wife was electrocuted and raped on video. You want to tell me that they don't have the videos? You want to tell me that they don't have the evidence? He was put on psychic ward in the country that invented open dialogue, which is a drug-free way to treat psychosis. How do you treat psychosis? You just begin to believe, listen, give people a place to speak, believe them when they speak, they start talking. And suddenly, they no longer have intrusive thoughts or voices or bodily experiences. But they have to have a house that they can live in independently of their ability to work. Guess why? Because they went to violence. Without the limitation of time, United States, with their work in the concentration camps, everybody going, we're funding God. No, you funded the foundation of the Taliban in 1996. You founded the foundation of death and concentration camps to the homeless in your country. You did not invoke the second. On that, US falls. A mother gives birth sometimes 50 hours in a birth room, and then she just has to go out of there. Why? Because she didn't pay for that. She didn't pay for it to stay more in the hospital. She has to pay. On that, Troy falls. So, yes, we got the good news about Assange, and the juxtaposition of this justice done and the many things that are co-occurring. You don't be fooled. Like one justice done is not going to save the planet if the children are continuing to be raped and murdered, if people are continuing to be raped, and that's okay, that's liberation, that's healing, that's this. Imagine women started raping men. Like, this is crazy. And this is Urano Algol, this is crazy times, okay? So, and then with Cassandra conjuncting Pluto, the more Cassandra conjuncts Pluto, it's going to be even bigger, because the Cassandra doom and gloom is going to play out. And Mars is approaching Uranus on Algol. And so the fate with Cassandra is that she was not believed, she was not listened to. So that's a little bit of an annoying place to be. For the code, Cassandra, I told you, pay attention to bloodlines, to people that were kidnapped for the bloodlines, to documents, um, and so on and so forth. That is, yeah, happening, going. Um, when it comes to human trafficking, so I saw in my village a sign in English, which literally hardly anybody speaks here, about human trafficking that can happen to many people. And then you were supposed to like press this digital ID thingy. And I'm like, that is so, this is so antithetical to combating human trafficking. That is more like a very weird, okay, very weird sign. Um, that's like, yeah, we know what what's planned. We know that that's like we knew it since 7th October that this is Maui. It's not news. But I also want you to be cautious worldwide. If you see these things and you see that you need to sort of like scan something in order to get more information, don't scan. They're going to surveil your phone and they're going to kidnap you, okay? Don't don't fall for this. It's not combating human trafficking in any way, shape, or form. I told you just what is, right? Talk about those things that I said. That combats human trafficking. But definitely not scanning things. They're just going to log into your phone. And this is obviously a scam. And what's more, I think it targets the foreign workers that we do have, that we hardly see. So I'm very likely just to take that note off the next time I see it. Because obviously it's not going to help anyone, right? If you want to help people, you give all the information. You don't make them scan anything technological, because it's through this technology that people are surveilled to be kidnapped. So this is a scam I wanted to warn you of. Okay, Sedna and Gemini. And also I wanted to warn you off with Sedna and Gemini. If you already gave your fingerprints, okay, but do not give more of your fingerprints. Biometric, da 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 da. This is very important. Okay, if a person, a lot of people are hungry, and if a person can steal your wallet and for that buy food, then they will steal your wallet and with that buy food. But if a person has to steal your fingerprints, Sedna is the story of the finger cut off from Sedna, okay? Don't. Very simple. Sedna is the story of the fingers cut off from Sedna. If they're gonna need your fingerprints, they're gonna get your fingerprints. So if you have to say whether it's a bank teller, whether it's a this, say it as I said it. This means that if somebody wants to steal from me in order to get food, they will have to steal my hand, not my wallet. No. No. You're gonna have to provide me. This is my money. You're gonna have to provide me for a safe way for me to do transactions. Otherwise, I'm going to send this person to steal your hand and give both of us food. Start holding people accountable. You saw, because if in 1938 even the Baron Rothschild was arrested and it didn't help, and who were killed? The people who were more hurt by the Baron Rothschild, which was the Jews, not the Palestinians. So start holding people accountable. Don't give your literally fingers away to people who are going to use them. Yes, in that way. By the way, I had a bank teller that suddenly told me, oh, your signature is not exactly like the signature, try next time, da 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 da. And you know, this is a prenup for. I didn't think of anything. I just made magic with my bank account to protect myself. And suddenly I don't see her anymore. I didn't do anything about her. I just did something to protect my bank account. Suddenly I don't see her. If I go to the bank, I went a couple of times to the bank this month. She was not there. Okay, so if somebody starts telling you your signature, your this, your that, it's all trying to prime you to do something that later, when your fingers are cut off, when you are murdered for your fingerprints, and you will be called Cassandra, for your documents, later the police, what it will do, it will not let the psychic to see what the psychic will see a judge. The psychic will see a judge. So it would not let the psychics tell what they see. If we say, oh, if maybe somebody found the ID, the bank pass, the cell phone, all these things which you were murdered to obtain. So of course they wouldn't find them, right? And you are a cold case. Good morning. Called Cassandra. So yes, Assange is free, but we're not going to let that divert our attention from the things at hand. With that, I'll end.